You know when you see an ad for a weight loss product and it just sounds so convincing? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of them. We're deconstructing the marketing story of a product called Wake Up Lean to see exactly how these persuasive narratives are built. Now, just to be clear, we're not looking at the product itself, but the story it sells. Let's dive in. All right, so every great story needs a great hook. And this one, it gets right to the point. It zooms in on a very specific group of people with a problem that is super frustrating and, for a lot of folks, very real. It's trying to make an instant connection right from the first sentence.
And there it is, a huge, bold claim. By flat out telling you that you've been lied to, the narrative does something really clever. It's not just getting your attention, it's setting itself up as the bearer of some hidden truth. And it makes you start to doubt everything you thought you knew.
Okay, so now that they have you hooked, the story needs a villain. But this isn't some bad guy you can see coming. Nope. This one, they say, is already inside your body. You gotta pay attention to the language here. Widespread epidemic. That's not just a description. It's an alarm bell. It's designed to make you feel like you're up against this huge invisible threat that you need to deal with like right now. So how do you make this secret killer feel more real, more legitimate? Well, you borrow some authority. By dropping Time magazine's name, the narrative kind of cloaks itself in the credibility of a major publication. It suddenly feels less like a sales pitch and more like an important news story. And now for the big reveal. The villain is inflammation. But the story is smart about this. It starts by talking about the good kind of inflammation that we're all familiar with. You know, the kind that helps you heal. It's your body's own little repair crew. And this right here is where it gets really interesting. The narrative takes this pretty complex biological idea and boils it down to a simple good versus evil story. Good inflammation is the hero, your bodyguard. Bad inflammation is the villain, a rogue cop. It's a really simple, powerful metaphor that's super easy to remember. And to make this villain feel even more specific and beatable, the story gives it a name: inflammation enzymes. See what happened? Suddenly, it's not just a vague concept anymore. Now you have a specific enemy to target, which, of course, is going to require a very specific solution. So you've got your villain. What's next in the story? Well, this is the part where the narrative starts to dismantle everything you thought was the right way to fight back, basically turning your best efforts into part of the problem. This is honestly a masterclass in persuasion. The story takes what is basically the holy trinity of weight loss advice: eat healthy snacks, exercise more, and eat less, and reframes all of it as lies. This creates this huge gap in your knowledge, leaving you feeling kinda lost and really needing a new plan. And here comes the emotional punch. Right after telling you that you've been doing everything wrong, the story immediately pivots and tells you it's not your fault. This is such a powerful move. It builds trust, it makes you feel understood, and it positions the storyteller as your ally in all this. So the stage is completely set. The old methods don't work, and hey, it's not your fault. So now what? Well, now this story shifts into a hero's journey, revealing the amazing origin of the one true solution. And where else would this journey take us but a remote, exotic jungle? The setting here is so important. It brings up these ideas of ancient, natural wisdom, something totally separate from the lies of the modern world. This is where the hero of our story, Meredith, is going to find the answer. And there's the twist. The person who looks like a young man is actually an elder. I mean, that's a classic storytelling hook, right? It creates this instant mystery and hints that there's some kind of powerful secret to youth and vitality just waiting to be discovered. So the secret, we find out, comes from a miracle tree and these magical plants. This sends our hero on a quest, right? A journey to figure out the science behind the magic, to uncover the specific nutrients that make this fountain of youth possible. And then, just like that, this ancient, profound jungle secret gets boiled down into something almost unbelievably simple: a 13-second trick. The message is crystal clear. This solution isn't just powerful, it's also completely effortless. And finally, the magic ingredient gets a name: selenium. This is presented as the silver bullet, the miracle mineral that's going to destroy those evil inflammation enzymes and fix everything. So, let's recap. We've got our villain, we've got a hero's journey, and we've got a magic bullet. What's the final piece of the puzzle? Well, it's turning this epic story into a product that you can actually buy. And here it is: Wake Up Lean. It's the physical product that came out of that whole Panamanian discovery. It's a 10-day program, and it promises to give you the magic of these metabolism minerals, with this nice little bonus that it apparently works even better the older you are.
And just look at these promises. It's not a diet, you never count calories, it works for anybody. Each one of these points is a direct answer to the triggers and frustrations that the story set up in the very beginning. It's presented as the perfect solution to the very specific problem it created.
Of course, to really seal the deal, you need some social proof. So a testimonial from someone like Maggie isn't just a review, it's a short, relatable success story. It makes all those big promises feel much more real and achievable for anyone reading. And then you see another one, from Sarah. The goal here is to build this chorus of approval. The more happy customers you hear from, the more it creates this feeling that this isn't just marketing hype, but a real solution that works for lots of people. So there you have it. The Wake Up Lean narrative is a perfect case study in persuasive storytelling. You've got the villain, the hero's journey, the magic cure, the whole shebang. And it really leaves us with a big question. In this world of health and wellness, are we actually buying the product or are we buying the story? And just how much can a really good story influence the choices we make for our own bodies?